This is what the world's heaviest man eats for breakfast. To start off his day, Walter Hudson ate 12 eggs, a pound of bacon, 32 sausages, an entire loaf of bread with grape jelly, and a pot of coffee. I'm giving myself until midnight tonight to finish not just this breakfast, but everything else on Walter's meal plan, which, as I'm sure you can imagine, is pretty gigantic, just like I'm gonna be by the end of this challenge.
Oh my goodness, I can barely see you guys over my gigantic stomach.
To kick off meal one, I poured an entire pot of coffee. And a few seconds later, I realized I should actually toast that bread. Oh, dang it. Looks like this got a bit overcooked. Even though this bread was a little extra toasty, everything was tasting amazing. The highlight of this meal was definitely the crunchy bread. After working my way through most of the bread and some eggs, this challenge was off to a great start. All right, our eggs, along with our first cup of coffee, have been eliminated. Now it's time to work on my breakfast sausage. It's a firm belief of mine that breakfast sausage cannot be eaten without some delicious maple syrup. Shout out to all my Canadian viewers watching this video. Breakfast sausage pairs perfectly with maple syrup. The other combination it pairs perfectly with, some tasty leftover eggs and maple syrup. I made quick work of the rest of the breakfast sausage. All right, the sausage is down. So far, this meal is tasting amazing. I set my sights on the bread next. I gotta get to work on this bread. After using pretty much half the jar of grape jelly, I had myself a grape jelly sandwich. That was a lot of jelly. Obviously, I was in the mood for sugar because grape jelly sandwiches just sounded good. But a few minutes later, I brought an old friend to the party. I need to know down below in the comments who is team chunky peanut butter and who is team creamy peanut butter. Nothing rings my bells like a toasted peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Or a couple toasted peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Goodness gracious. I'm like out of breath. So much bread. It's probably too much information, but there's a reason why I chose this mug. It's because it's the truth. You'll find out very shortly why this was so troubling. I took a few more sips of coffee and got back to work on the rest of the bread. Grape jelly just wasn't cutting it anymore, so I decided to use some peanut butter to get down the rest of the bread. But at this point, the bread was really starting to fill me up. I have to chew on the bread right now. Next, I set my sights on the bacon, dipped in some maple syrup, of course. I thought that combo was tasty, but what I made next was about to be even tastier. I slathered some peanut butter on some leftover bread, added a few slices of bacon on that bread, topped it with some grape jelly, of course, and then I had to do one last thing. Oh man, I am most definitely gonna be regretting this tomorrow morning. W! Oh, W moment. This was one of the most unnecessarily delicious things I've ever eaten in my life. After making quick work of it, the only thing left was one slice of bread. Last piece of bread. Whew, that was a lot of coffee. Breakfast was complete. Next up was Walter's snack. According to the article that I got Walter's diet from, his between the meal snacks consisted of a handful of candy bars. But how much is a handful? After a few Google searches, I realized that a handful could mean anything. Thankfully, I had something up my sleeve. All right, everyone, so I have a random number generator on my phone with numbers 3 through 6. A handful to me is like 2 or 3. A handful to Walter Hudson is probably like double that. So I'm gonna let this decide for me. After seeing how many candy bars I had to eat, all that coffee hit me. I hit the store to get my candy bars, and I saw one that really caught my eye. And then I had one of the worst caffeine crashes of my life. I started with the Reese's Fast Break Bar, and since I'm a Reese's lover, this got a fire. I took down the Fast Break Bar along with the Hershey's Cookies and Cream Bar. Reese's Big Cup with Reese's Puffs. This Reese's Big Cup was also incredibly delicious, but the bar I was most curious about was up next. And now what I've been looking forward to trying the most, the Fruity Pebbles chocolate bar. The craziest part, this had real Fruity Pebbles inside. Ooh. A few minutes later, all the candy bars were down. Everyone just like that, 4 candy bars are down. The first snack was complete. Next up, lunch. Everyone, so far this challenge is going fantastic. The only thing I'm starting to worry about is the fact that I haven't used the bathroom today. And then it hit me. I needed to find a bathroom ASAP. see you guys on the other side. All right, everyone, it's time for lunch, and all I gotta say is exercise. I thought you meant extra fries. Man, I really gotta get a new joke. Walter's lunch beverage was a large bottle of soda. It's almost 5 p.m. right now. I'm having a bit of a late lunch, but we gotta get the show on the road. Walter ate 2 large sandwiches for lunch, so I ordered the Subway Philly sandwich. Needless to say, I was a big fan. I was surprised because this actually tasted like an authentic cheesesteak. The combination of the steak, American cheese, peppers, onions, and mayonnaise made this a fantastic sandwich. I gotta give a quick shout out to Subway. That was a 10 out of 10 sandwich. Even though I had 1 sandwich left, woo! I moved to the next part of Walter's lunch. Now I gotta get on over to my mound of fries, which I'm gonna wash down with some sugar-free ketchup. It helps cancel out all the calories. Unsurprisingly, the fries tasted like French fries. If you're new to the channel, I really love French fries. You guys know me, you know I'm team waffle fry, but to me, building a mound of waffle fries just sounded really weird. So I figured I would just make a mound of regular fries. Yeah, I have so many carbs inside of me. Woo! Even though I was starting to get full, I still had an entire Subway sandwich to eat after this. I gotta get on over to my last Subway sandwich right here, which is arguably one of the best Subway sandwiches on the Subway sandwich menu. Wow, that's so many vegetables. Why the f did they put this many vegetables on there? Even with the unnecessary amount of vegetables, this sandwich tasted mind-blowing. But unfortunately, all this bread was really starting to hit me. Man, I've eaten so much bread today. Ooh. But fortunately, I was able to push through and finish off the sandwich. Well, I got down all the fries, the subs. Fortunately, I still have this Coca-Cola left over, which I'm gonna use in my next food adventure. So yeah, I'm gonna hold off on the rest of this Coke for now. Because I didn't finish the Coke, lunch was a fail. The number I rolled next was 5. At this point, I had taken down just over 15,000 calories, and I hadn't even gotten to the hardest part of this challenge yet. All right, everyone, just a quick status update as I head to the store to grab my next round of candy bars. I'm not doing very well. My stomach feels like a black hole full of French fries, bread, and a lot of regret right now. Ugh. All I gotta say is that volume-wise, the final meal is gonna be the biggest meal in this entire challenge. And the last challenge was a complete fail. And the last thing I wanna do is fail 2 challenges in a row for you guys. So let's just say this is about to get pretty crazy. Ooh, those sandwiches are not sitting very well right now. I picked out the rest of my candy bars and it was time for snack number 2. I'm actually pretty excited to try 2 of these because I've never had them before. I also got my Coke. Taste the rainbow. Why did I just say that? That's Skittles, not Coke. Oh. I'm gonna start with the Zero bar. Oh. I was pleasantly surprised by the taste of the Zero bar. It was an explosion of almond, peanut, and caramel nougat. That's tasty, man. Finally, I had to get to the Snickers bar. Where my Snickers people at. You can never go wrong with the Snickers bar. But the bar I had next has a special place in my heart. 3 Musketeers. This was good, but the bar I had next really stole the show. My first time trying a Carmelo bar. Let's take a moment. Oh my goodness, look at that action. Look at that caramel action. Whoo! Oh my goodness. One word, legendary. Biting into this Carmelo bar was like a symphony of chocolatey deliciousness. 10 out of 10. That was amazing. Speaking of amazing, it's time to get to one of my favorite chocolate bars out there, the Butterfinger. And if you made it up into this point of the video, pause the video and drop a chocolate bar emoji down below in the comments. Ooh. Walter's second snack and lunch had been completed. Now it was time for dinner, the biggest meal of this entire challenge. I picked up a bottle of Coke and 4 ham steaks. That was almost harder than eating this food. And apple pie, and the most difficult part of the meal, the potatoes. Exercise? I thought you meant extra pie. Okay, I definitely need a new joke now. Walter's dinner beverage was a bottle of soda. He also ate 4 or 5 ham steaks for dinner. Tastes like ham. Eating almost 2 pounds of protein this late into a challenge, I was seriously doubting I'd be able to complete this one. These ham steaks are freaking huge.
I'm very salty.
Thankfully, I was able to get the last ham steak down, but I was getting very full.
I'm not gonna lie, those ham steaks were a solid 1 out of 10. I have no idea why someone would want to eat a ham steak willingly.
Next up, a half dozen cobs of corn.
Shout out to everybody that knows the deliciousness of tahini. That's how you pronounce this. It's fucking delicious. Pardon my French.
With the addition of the tahini, this corn was actually pretty tasty. With only 1 cob left, there's something I had to say.
And I just gotta say, if this video gets 50,000 likes, I will attempt to eat the diet of the world's heaviest woman. So if you wanna see that, give the video a like if you haven't already.
I finished off the last corn on the cob and set my sights on the food that was gonna be the most difficult to get down, the potatoes.
Now it's time for me to move on to the most difficult part of this entire meal, our healthy potatoes.
For dinner, Walter had a half dozen potatoes.
While I was in the store, I was wondering what I could eat these potatoes with, and I saw Smart Balance. I'll pick that up later. I don't think I've ever actually had this before, but I do see green and it is called Smart Balance, so that obviously means we can use as much of it as we want because it must be calorie free. Sarcasm.
After a generous amount of Smart Balance, it was time to get to work.
Oh, it's gonna be rough. Oh hey, this is gluten free. Oh. All right, these potatoes are just like bricks in my stomach right now.
I did the only thing I could do in the situation.
Thank goodness we have some wow sauce.
At this point, I felt like a human water balloon, and wow sauce wasn't helping with the fullness.
Oh, I can't say WOW moment right now because I feel like if I do, I'm gonna, yeah, okay.
With the ham steaks I put down earlier, each potato was getting harder and harder to eat, so I decided to make a decision.
Oh my goodness. I felt like this in the last challenge too. Except it was bagels and not potatoes doing this to me. But everybody, here's the deal. There's no way I'm gonna be able to finish this potato and this pie right now. It's currently 9:16 right now, which means I have about 2.5 hours left in this day. So I'm gonna chill out and actually do something that I feel like I should do.
I can barely see you guys over my mountainous stomach. Oh, this is embarrassing.
Let's make a little deal. If I've gained over 14 pounds, you have to subscribe if you're not subscribed already. If I gain under 14 pounds, you can unsubscribe from my channel. Let's weigh in.
My pre-challenge weight was 169.2 pounds. My current weight, 184.7 pounds. A gain of over 15 pounds. After over an hour of digestion time, I came back to finish the fight. I had less than a half an hour to get down this massive serving of apple pie, the rest of the soda, and the last potato. With the massive amount of starch I'd consumed over the day, finishing this meal was gonna be a battle.
All right, everybody, well, it is 11:30 right now, and the food baby is quite large. Like usual, I look 27 months pregnant. I should be on the next cover of GQ. Oh, the thought of putting this potato in my mouth is just absolutely repulsive right now. Thank goodness for 0 sugar whipped cream.
I dove headfirst into the apple pie. At this point, I felt like my stomach had detached from my body, but the finish line was in sight.
I feel like I'm about to give birth to a baby made of Subway sandwiches and toast. The apple pie's been eliminated. All I gotta say, everybody, is that it's gonna be a long time before I touch another potato. We've done it. I've successfully eaten like the world's heaviest man for 1 day. Man, that was rough.
If you thought this challenge was crazy, be sure to go check out that one time I ate like Nikocado avocado for a day. Or check out my last challenge where I ate 10 times serving sizes for 1 day. Subscribe for more crazy food challenges just like this one, and I'll see you all in the next video.